Vacation Resort. By Barrier Motors, a promise to do more. Visit barriermotors.com. Good afternoon, a good crowd here. Memorial Day game, one of the set. Baltimore and Seattle Mariners on a roll of late. They've won 9 of their last 11. Hopefully just continues on this homestand. Up now to the booth. Gentlemen calling the game, Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, and guys, Mariners certainly picked up their play since the last time they faced Baltimore.
Couldn't get any worse. That was a bad run. Good afternoon, everybody. This is a benchmark game in Major League Baseball here Memorial Day, and the Mariners since then, since last seeing Baltimore, have turned things around quite nicely. Take a look at some of the numbers here. In the series, they've done well, and overall record, they've done well.
Well, and that's the reason why they have a 500 record at this point. But you look at the opponent's average against at 194 and what the opponents have done as far as scoring runs, the pitching. Even though they were already good, they have really picked it up and give the offense a chance to where they don't have to go out and score 5 or 6 runs to win some games. The pitching has been the difference.
Pitching and defense has really made a difference with this ball club. Let's take a look at the starting pitchers today. Doug Fister goes for the Mariners against Baltimore's Jake Arrieta.
Well, and for Doug, it's pretty simple for him. He has to be able to command his fastball, keep the ball down if he can. Doug has an exceptional changeup, but to get to it, he has to locate his fastball and pitch inside. I like his curveball, too. He's done a nice job with that. There's a good slider from Doug. But overall, if he's commanding his fastball, he'll keep the ball on the ground today and give that infield a chance to make some plays for him.
And he's due for a good run of good luck. Doug Fister wants to be a teacher when his playing days are over. A real nice young man, and hopefully he can get a win here today for the Mariners. They're playing some really good baseball. Taking a break with the National March of the United States of America. It's the Stars and Stripes Forever, written by John Philip Sousa. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. A safe one, and we're glad to have all these good folks here at Safeco Field. Mariner baseball, first pitch, straight ahead.
Seattle Mariners Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Banner Bank, better ideas, better banking. By the new Quest 5-year price lock from it. Visit quest.com/promise for details. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting hilarious Funny Man Sinbad June 11th. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com. Hi friends, Angie Mentink here, and happy Memorial Day. I'm a Navy brat myself, so I'd like to thank my dad and my father-in-law and everybody who has served or is serving our great country. The Mariners have won 11 of the last 15 on this holiday, and that's big because every single game right now is so huge within the division. A little south of here, the New York Yankees went down to the Bay Area. Trevor Cahill will take the mound. His ERA is one of the best in baseball at 2.02. For the Yankees, Bartolo Colon will get the start. Anaheim is in Kansas City to face the Royals. Irvin Santana will toe the rubber for LA with a record of 3-4. And Luke Hochevar will go for the Royals. And the AL West division-leading Rangers are in Tampa to face the Rays. Derek Holland on the hill for Texas, and Wade Davis will go for Tampa Bay. Here's a quick look at the up-to-date AL West standings. Texas is on top. The Angels sit a game back, and Seattle and Oakland both sit at 500, and both are a game and a half off the pace. So again, this is a huge game for the Mariners, a huge series as well. Now, behind me on Memorial Day, every single one of the division flags have been replaced by American flags. We are so happy that you're here with us for baseball on Memorial Day. What goes better with barbecue than baseball? The M's and the O's in the series opener next year on Root Sports.
And the Yanks are coming, the Yanks are coming, the drums run.
American flag flying prominently today, Memorial Day, a holiday started by the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, to honor Civil War dead. And in Major League Baseball, we use it as a benchmark first date in the summer as we get an evaluation of where the teams are in this season. Welcome, everybody, as the Orioles come to town, first of three to take on the Seattle Mariners. Glad you could join us, everybody. Dave Sims and Mike Blowers and the Root Sports crew. And let's take a look at the Orioles starting lineup for today's game.
And for Buck Showalter, a bit of a different look for the Orioles. J.J. Hardy had a nice series against the Mariners in Baltimore. Vladimir Guerrero off to a nice start, hitting .300 this year. Luke Scott, watch out for him, .232, but usually hits the Mariners well. And then, of course, Mark Reynolds, another new addition, having a tough time at 196. Numbers for Doug Fister this year. Nice ERA to 3.18, 65 innings for Doug. 41 strikeouts to 15 walks. He's given up 4 home runs this year. Take a look at the defense behind him. Figueroa out in left field. Saunders will play centers. Franklin Gutierrez getting the day off. Ichiro in right. Biggins and Ryan on the left side. Adam Kennedy will start at second base, smoking first. And then Miguel Olivo back in the lineup this afternoon behind the plate.
Doug Fister, it's been a month since his last victory. April 30th at Boston, 2-0. He went 5 2/3 in that ball game. 5 hits, no runs, 5 walks, which is uncharacteristic. The season high, and he had 4 strikeouts. Felix P.A. will lead it off. Big cloud mass above Safeco Field with the wind blowing out towards left. First pitch from Doug Fister. Strike one, says Phil Cuzzy. Working with Mike Malinsky at first, Bill Miller, the umpire, at second, and James Hoy at third. .57 degrees. And the wind south at 9. Adam Kennedy to his left. Pirouettes and throws the smoke for the first out. 1 out. Our ceremonial first pitch thrown about 5 minutes ago, and it was a good one from the United States ship Abraham Lincoln, their commander, U.S. Navy Senior Medical Officer Michael Jacobs, Commander Michael Jacobs, and that's good follow-through. How about the follow-through there?
62 miles an hour, I'm told, on that first pitch, so he let it go, too. Good for him.
Big man. Look, I wonder if he might have been an offensive lineman or something at the Naval Academy. He's a big guy. And smart enough not to get up in the mound. Probably hadn't thrown in a while. Get up a little bit close, make a nice strong throw. Good stuff. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop. Strike one to him. Fister snares it for the second out. Doug was speaking at the RBI Club a couple of days ago. What was it? Friday. What a nice guy. Spoke extemporaneously about his life, about what's going on this season, about his career, and the RBI Club members were eating it up. And I've had the pleasure of doing some the January caravans with him. What a good kid. And he's really good when we go to the hospitals and the elementary schools and speaking to the youngsters. Here's Nick Markakis.
Along with that, he has a 3.18 ERA, so he's a pretty good pitcher, too. Just needs a little bit of run support, turn his record around.
Felt for him last week in Minnesota. 2-2 ball game. First and third, 1 out. Does that step off, fake the third, throw to first. Call a balk on him. I still haven't seen evidence of a balk. Run, scores, next guy base hit, ball game. Tough go. 0-2 to Markakis. Struck him out quick and efficient. Doug Fister. A great start on Memorial Day. And the Marine Corps, they would like his moxie. The Marine Corps hymn. It's music from a French opera back in 1859, but it is noted as the United States Marine Corps hymn, and it's a great one. Ichiro about to get things going for the Mariners. Let's take a look at the rest of the Mariners starting lineup today, the batting order.
Thank you, Dave. For Eric Wedge, a change in the lineup today. Brendan Ryan will hit second. Justin Smoke looking to get things going again. Adam Kennedy, he's done a nice job overall this year, hitting fifth. Then you have Biggins. That's the story. He has dropped down to 8th in the lineup, trying to get him going again. Michael Saunders playing for Franklin Gutierrez today. He will hit 9th. Those numbers for Arrieta this year, 4.57 ERA, 61 innings pitched for him, 56 strikeouts. Has a good arm. He has walked 27 batters. Take a look at the defense behind him. Reimold just joining the club. He'll be out in left field. PA and Markakis in the outfield. Then it's Reynolds and Hardy on the left side. And Dino. Luke Scott will play first base today. And Matt Wieters, good-looking switch-hitting catcher for the Orioles, will be behind the plate this afternoon.
No Adam Jones. He's got a shoulder injury. Here's Jake Arrieta coming off his last performance. Here's an issue here, Mike. Oriole people talking about he's such an intense competitor, throws hard, but he's had a difficult time getting beyond the 6th inning in 100 pitches. And that's been a problem for him during the course of this season.
Yeah, for a power pitcher, it's really not that unusual, because you're holding their pitch counts down, and typically they can get wild at times, which is the case with Arrieta. But he does have a good arm. You mentioned 61 innings pitched, 56 strikeouts for him. That's a nice number. What that'll do, though, over the course of a summer, it'll tax your bullpen. Bullpen guys like to see you work a little bit deeper, at least every now and then, give them a break.
Ichiro had a nice conversation with the skipper, Eric Wedge, and basically told him, hey, just relax, keep doing your thing. I know you're going to come out of it, and don't try to do too much. 3-1 the count. Make sure he doesn't put too much heat on himself. He is slumping miserably. Trying to pick it up. 0 for his last 11. And that'll break the 0 for 11 right there. And a 3-1 pitch. Base hit. You know he's going to get his 200 hits. And I think there's a barrage coming up at some point, given the downslope he's been on lately.
Well, you're probably right. One of the things that will help, have a young pitcher on the mound and get yourself into a 3-1 count, so you know you're going to get a fastball. This pitch is down in the middle of the plate. You can see Ichiro just dropped the barrel of the bat on it, hits it hard into right field. Maybe that'll be the hit that gets him going again.
Let's hope so. He's 0 for 11, 6 for his last 42 since May 19th, and that included a 1 for 22 stretch in the last 5 games. So here's Brendan Ryan batting in a 2-hole. He talked to him before the game. He said did a lot of 2-hole hitting with St. Louis a couple of years ago, and oftentimes in the minor league, so it's no big deal for him.
I think he's the logical choice if you're going to move Figgins to try to get Biggie going again. You may as well move Ryan. He's been the hot hitter. He has a 9-game hitting streak coming into the game. Has really done a nice job hitting the ball the other way, so he can take advantage of the hole that Ichiro provided by getting a base hit to start this game off.
Strike 1 to Ryan. How hot is he? 25 for his last 59. A 423 clip. Ichiro 12 out of 16 in base stealing. Ryan continues to play a strong shortstop as well as his hot hitting. Eric Wedge and the coaching staff told him, hey, don't change a thing. Just in a different spot in the order. Wedge talking about Sean Figgins. Asking the question that got the little news conference going, and he said, how's your third baseman? He said, he's good. He's a pro. Had a good conversation this morning. Pitch outside. So you don't always want to have that conversation, and you don't want to have that conversation for the team, but says, I'm a patient man, and patience is going to reward itself 9 out of 10 times, and I think this is going to be one of them. He's not going to be able to hit in the first inning, but he's a student of the game, and yeah, it's going to take some heat off. Ichiro goes, throw down to second, not in time, bounces away, and he'll take the extra base. So on a 2-2 pitch, Ryan in good shape with a scoring opportunity at hand. Ichiro's stolen base number 13.
And this is the biggest difference. Ichiro gets a base hit, steals second. Reader's throw, not a good one. Ends up in the outfield, so that'd be an error on the catcher as Ichiro moves on to third. But if you can get Ichiro going and get Figgins going, you can manufacture a lot of runs, which is something this club is going to have to do over the course of the summer.
The Mariners coming off the Yankee series, taking 2 out of 3. They've won 9 of 11 and 10 of 13. Orioles are a real streaky ball club. They've lost their last 3 ball games. 2-2. Let's run full.
I'm talking about Eric Wedge's comments as far as Figgins go. And I think what that's telling you is that he realizes that Sean is a big part of this lineup and what he can do for this club, and they just have to find a way to get him going. This is definitely something that'll be temporary. As soon as Sean starts to get it going and feeling better at the plate, they'll move him right back up.
Yeah, he just came out and said, hey, he's lost his feel. It happens, and it happens to everybody. He's just having lost it in a big way. Payoff pitch. Ryan back up the middle. Backhanded by Andino. Ichiro scores. Wow, another head-first slide. Didn't we see the damage done by Olivo the other day? Run scored on the infield ground out by Ryan, so paying immediate dividends. 1-0 Mariners.
And again, nice piece of hitting by Brendan Ryan. Not trying to do too much. It's a fastball. It jams him, but he stays inside of it, fights it back up the middle. I appreciate the hustle, but you certainly don't want to see your shortstop, especially one that's playing as well as Brendan is, diving into first. Jam a hand or hurt a wrist doing that.
And you don't get frequent flyer mileage. Come on. Nothing Mariners. Here's Justin Smoke. Goose Creek Crusher went deep last night, 6th inning, yesterday afternoon. 3-1 pitch. Home run number 7. Man of very few words. He said, how'd it look? How'd it feel like? I hit it good. And he did.
Yes, he did.
Bullpen. I mean, they got a low fastball, batting right-handed.
3-iron.
Yeah, he's got 3 home runs right-handed and 4 left-handed.
I showed you a picture of the infield. They have a little bit of a shift on, and Dino playing over in the hole at second base. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop, playing up the middle.
It's like black on the quarter of the left side is black.
Mariners with an early lead here. 2-1 to Smoke. 2-2. 2 for 12 on the homestand for Smoke coming in. He's got a 3-2 count. Jack Cust on deck. Three-two pitch. Taking down low. Smoke has worked a walk. He gets the free ride. His 27th walk. And that's second on the team to Jack Cust, standing in right now. Talking about the benchmark point of the first benchmark of the season. If you say the Mariners in last place on Memorial Day 2011, doesn't sound particularly good. However, when you look at the numbers at 500, they're only a game and a half back in the jumbled AL West. It's a good sign.
I think it's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride for him, but if we're going to use today as the benchmark, I think you have to be pleased.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're talking about a club that lost 100 games last year, and now they're at 500 at this point, a third of the way through the season.
American League West, Texas up a game on the Angels, game and a half on Oakland and Seattle.
Well, to give you an idea, you're talking about them at the bottom of it right now. I think they were second yesterday. That's how close this division is.
Oh, yeah. Watching roller derby, nobody's broken from the pack. Jack Cust, high and deep, right center field. Does it have enough carry? Off the fence. Smoke will get the third. Jeff Datz waving him on. Coming home, he's going to score into third with a triple. Jersey Jack Cuss and RBI, and the Mariners have a 2-0 lead. Jack Cuss rumbling around the bases with his first triple, his 17th RBI.
Puts a lot of air under this out into right center field. I think he thought maybe it was going to carry out of here. A little bit of a breeze blowing from left to right, but it hits off the bottom of the fence. You see Smoke sliding into home, and Jack will end up with a triple, but a nice start for the Mariners offense today.
Impressive. Here's Adam Kennedy, hero a couple of nights ago against the Yankees. How about Jack Cuss with a 3-bagger? That's just his second major league triple. So if you're thinking cycle, it's the most difficult portion. He's got that out of the way. Fly ball left field. Nolan Reimold. Shallow left field. And Cuss will hold his ground. 2 outs. Here's Miguel Olivo. Had yesterday off. Saturday night. He was able to laugh about the faceplant. Thank goodness. All out hustle. That was in the 11th inning of a 12-inning Mariner win against the Yankees. Looks at strike one. Miguel at 243, 4 homers, 18 runs batted in. Boy, he's one of the real heart and soul guys in this ball club. And this will be, it's one of the great hustle jabs you'll see this year, but it's painful to look at.
Yeah, you can see the late dive, and then when he hit first base, it was like a speed bump on him. It just slammed his face into the ground.
Blew me away when he told me he had one worse than that in Chicago. So you can see where it looked like he took a series of left hooks. Strikes out on 3 pitches. Nonetheless, a very good inning for the Mariners. RBI for Ryan Cuss, his second big league triple. 2-0 as we go to break. Anchors away. It's the fight song of the United States Naval Academy, composed Good to see the Rally Fry signs here Memorial Day. Safeco Field in Seattle, and hopefully this cloud mass will continue to blow over, get us some more sunshine here. It just sucks for
I would agree. Isn't that great?
Oh, boy. He's a veteran. Hey, that's going to put him in the young veteran at that. Leading off here, Vladimir Guerrero. How about a sparkling first inning for Doug Fister? 1, 2, 3, an 8-pitch performance. Vladimir Guerrero, 300 is his batting average, 5 home runs and 22 runs batted in. Vladdy leading him in average, hits and total bases. Second in home runs. Reaches out and rolls one down to Ryan, throws him out. Always breathe a little bit easier when you get Vlad Guerrero on a 6-3. Make sure you get on board the Mariners Go Green fan train this Friday. Mariners meet the Rays, first 20,000 fans. They get this year's edition of the popular collectible train car series. For tickets to Mariners Go Green fan train night, visit mariners.com/tickets. Matt Wieters, the catcher. 271 hitter. He is one tall catcher. 6'5". Rolls one over. Cust will take. Then Smoke will take care of it. Five outs and 11 pitches for Doug Fister.
Yeah, 11 pitches, 10 of them for strikes. Those 5 batters, all of them first pitch strikes. And he has some early run support.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's rare that he gets it this early.
I would agree. That's why I've mentioned it twice now, Dave. I would agree with you.
A lot of times he's sitting there scuffling and begging and pleading. Give me at least one. Luke Scott, the hitter. He always hits well against the Mariners. Fister's ahead of him, 0-2. A youngin' with baseball, good deal. He's got the Orioles MVP last year. 27 home runs. Fister's got him 0-2. He plays Scott straight away, not too deep. Talking about the Orioles streaking, they've lost 3 in a row. They've had just nightmarish time in Oakland over the last few years. Prior to that, they'd won 5 games. They beat Washington 2 out of 3 and swept Kansas City. That was at home. Prior to that, they'd lost 3. They'd won 6 out of 8. As Scott goes down swinging, 1, 2, 3. Go the Orioles here in the second inning. Semper Fidelis, Latin for always faithful. It's the United States Marine Corps model, written by John Philip Sousa, 1909. It's Mariner baseball. Mariners out to an early 2-0 lead for Doug Fister. Bottom third of the order for the M's here with Figueroa, Figgins, and Saunders. Big Carlos looks at strike one, hitting 185 with 2 homers. 8 runs batted in. He's got that eye blink homer that he hit here at Safeco Field, and then the monster shot he hit in Cleveland. Hits it down to Andino. Goes to Luke Scott. First out. Good hustle down the line as always by Figueroa. Here's Figgins. I like what the manager said. Let's take some heat off. Get him out of that 2-hole. Start to figure things out. And remember last year he hit 289 second half of the year.
Well, I think the big thing with Figgins is when you're hitting second, you have so many things that you have to concern yourself with as far as where the game is going and who's in front of you and setting the table and doing all that. When you drop him down, he can concentrate on his hitting. And again, I think if he has a couple of days where he swings the bat well, he'll be right back up hitting second again. But you need to clear your mind sometimes. Sometimes a change in the lineup will do that.
May 22 for his last 36, 0.56, 0.056 rather, including 0 for his last 19. Means an avalanche of hits right around the corner. Big Bender in there for strike. Straight away and shallow for Figgins. 2-2. Good crowd out at the pen. They were here early. The sun's starting to break through, which is a good sign. 2-2. Full count to Figgins. 1 out. Michael Saunders on deck. Swing and a miss. 2 down. Second strikeout by Arrieta. Hold a 9-inning meeting right here at Safeco Field this Wednesday. Mariners host the Orioles. A special 12:40 start time. We've got a good run of day baseball here. Michael Pineda's on the mound for this U.S. Bank matinee. And it's a great excuse to sneak away from work, especially if you're the boss. Get your tickets to the game at Mariners.com or any other Mariners team store. There's another guy the Mariners trying to get going is Michael Saunders. Hitting $168.
Well, the one thing that Michael has to his advantage hitting ninth in the lineup is the first 8 hitters saw a lot of fastballs, so he should be ready to go to hit a fastball. Hopefully he can get one in the middle of the plate.
Mariners got first inning RBIs from Ryan on an infield ground out. And Jack Cuss, first triple of the season, second of his career, driving in a run. Two and 1. Slams off the glove and helmet. Catcher Matt Wieters.
I like this at bat so far from Michael. I know he hasn't done anything with it yet, but the fact that he was able to get to a 2-0 count and then took 2 aggressive swings at some fastballs, pitches that we've been watching him take. At least he's turning loose, get his hacks in.
2-2, 2 outs. Strike 3 call. Boy, he has taken a lot of called third strikes in the last week, 10 days as he consults with Phil Cousin. Semper Paratus, always ready. It's the official march of the United States Coast Guard. It's their motto as well. 2-0 Mariners. Pfister. Nolan Reimold leads off and looks at a strike.
Reimold recently recalled only 19 at-bats for him, hitting .368 coming into the game. 7 hits, but 3 of them have been for home runs.
Cotton candy, he's devouring that. We're still early in the ball game. Wonder what else he has on his agenda. Bouncing ball. Figgins will slide over and just got him. Good hustle by Reimold down the line. Nice play, Figgins. Mariners calendar brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Baltimore for a night game Tuesday, day game Wednesday. Tampa Bay then comes in. Then we go to the great city of Chicago for 3 and Detroit for 4. Mariners come back, the Angels, and then the fighting Phillies. Philadelphia will be in. Roy Halladay was going today. He got the win in a 5-4 win at Washington. There's Mark Reynolds. This guy's struggling. 196, big home run guy in Arizona over the last couple of years. Big strikeout guy as well.
Oh boy.
That is hit a long way. And the Orioles are on the board. He goes upper tank. And he crushed it. Reynolds, his 7th home run, 24th RBI, coming on an 0-1 pitch. No doubt about it. Just a matter if it stays fair or foul.
It definitely had that sound, and it was going to stay fair just because of how hard it was hit. 7th home run of the year, fastball middle in, and he catches every bit of it, hits it into the upper deck.
385 feet worth. Robert Andino looks at ball one. Reynolds at 32 homers last year with Arizona, 44, 28, and 17 in his time down there. Also led the majors in strikeouts. One and two. Pfister giving up his 5th home run. Good check himself. And Andino's gone. 3rd strikeout. Doug Pfister, 2 outs here in the 3rd. His 5 home runs. Where does that stand on the Mariners squad? Let's see. 7 for Bedard. 7 for Vargas. Felix has given up 5, and Pfister's given up 5. All right, taking it first ball game. Yes, indeed. Good fresh air. Line drive over the head of umpire Bill Miller. In the right center field off the bat of Felix Piet. 2 outs. A run in, a runner on. Major League Baseball, make sure you join in helping those veterans who've done so much to help us. Log on to MLB.com or welcomebackveterans.org for more information on how you can make a difference. Salute to all the men and women in service to our country and those who have served the country in the military. Happy Memorial Day. You know it. God bless America. In the right center field, Ichiro coming over, slicing back to him, and he puts it away. A run on the home run by Mark Reynolds. It was crushed upper deck, but the Mariners still have the advantage. As we listen to the Washington Post, written by John Philip Sousa in 1889, one of his most popular marches. It was written because the editors of the paper asked for it for the paper's essay contest winners ceremony. 2-1 ball game, bottom of the third. Here's Ichiro. Off the pitcher.
That'll be a hit.
You know it. So Ichiro 2 for 2. And he's got a stolen base in the first inning. Let's see him do it again.
Right back up the middle. It looks like it hits the shin of the pitcher. That's right on the barrel, too. He hit that ball hard. Take another look at it. Right back up the middle. One hop off of the ankle. Left ankle of Arrieta. And once it did that, no chance to get Ichiro. So quick 2 for 2 for him.
That's what he does in the clubhouse when we go in to talk to the guys before the game. He has that stretch routine down. I mean, it is like clockwork.
Well, this is hit hard off the ankle.
Yeah.
That'll require some ice.
When the Mariners last time we saw Baltimore 20 days ago, 7-6 loss in 13, a 4-2 loss, and a 2-1 loss in 12. Then going to Cleveland, lose a game, and then had 2 games rained out. So that is one of those road trips you try to expunge from your memory as quickly as possible.
Yep, and you have them.
That's when Brandon League had that little bit of a bad stretch, which he has since recovered from, thank goodness. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Well, that is an occupational hazard for pitchers. I don't care what kind of follow through, be at the ready position you're at. That baby comes back that hard, you got no chance.
Yeah, we've talked about it over the years. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. When you think about hitters, and when they're hitting in the tunnels and in the cages and taking their batting practice, that's what they're working on, trying to stay up the middle with everything. Surprised that pitchers don't get hit more often.
That's why they have the L screen during BP. Right?
Well, that and it's the coaches throwing BP, and those guys have been around for a while.
Right. But I mean, I got hit. Remember, I got taken out last year. Who was the guy? Woodward lined one off the L screen. I'm talking to somebody at the Red Sox at the rail over, and it hit and ricocheted and boomed off of me. Now, if it hadn't hit that, it might have gotten the guy throwing BP. Those things are great. I don't know who invented the L screen, but God bless him.
When you think about it, you're a big, tough guy, but that still hurt, didn't it?
Dude, that was, I'm in the middle of the line talking to somebody, and all of a sudden I said, man, I just got hit and I'm going down. Boom. I popped up. I didn't take a standing 8 count, but.
No trainer needed.
No smelling salts. But, that's not a lot of giggles as Simone gets up and throws. Just in case Arrieta is in some distress. Where I come from, you learn to get up quickly, man.
I hear you.
You don't want a size 9 or 10 in your grill. I think Stallone captured that pretty well in Rocky. Am I right? Brendan Ryan, RBI on a ground out. First time up.
Ichiro stole second. Wieters, the young catcher, ended up throwing the ball into center field, and Ichiro moved on to third, and then a ground ball up the middle. Nice play by Andino to get Ryan at first. Hustling play, diving into first.
Ichiro's got a nice lead. Finds a hole. That's a base hit. We're moving Ryan to the 2-hole. Some nice early dividends here.
Third baseman Reynolds playing in. Brendan Ryan choking up on the bat, helping get the barrel to the ball and hits through the hole.
It's a 10-game hitting streak.
Yes, he does. That's a career high for him.
Here's Smoke. He drew a walk on a 3-2 pitch. Great opportunity here for the Mariners, up 2-1. Good speed out there. shortstop playing favoring towards the bag. Big hole left side. Got Felix PA in center field, straight away, not deep. Adam Jones has a shoulder issue. Saw Adam before the game. He hopes to play tomorrow. 1-0 to Smoke. Takes it, and it's a ball. 2-0. Arrieta has given up as many homers this year as he did last year, and in 40 fewer innings. He's being careful with Smoke. 3-0. On deck is Jack Cust, who delivered an RBI triple right center field his last time.
And look at Arrieta struggling right now. 45 pitches, 25 strikes, 20 balls. Mariners find themselves in some good hitting counts. Let's see him take advantage of that and add to their lead.
3-1.
If he gets that same fastball, Justin will turn it loose. Homered in yesterday's game.
The bases are loaded for the Mariners. Bases loaded for Jack Cust. Jack has 5 RBIs via bases loaded walks. Maybe he can leave the yard here today.
He just missed a home run his first time up, hit the base of the wall all the way out in right center field. Out by the 385 mark. Ended up with an RBI and a triple.
Arrieta walks Cust for the second time. Base is filled with Mariners ready to run. Inside says Phil Cuzzy. Strike right there, 1-1.
.48 pitches. Mariners making him work. 24 in the first.
1-1 to Cust.
One of the better changeups we've seen from Arrieta. Yeah, he's given up a grand slam.
25 years old, out of Farmington, Missouri, lives in El Dorado Hills, California. One-two to Cust. Popped it up. Short left field, coming in Reimel, shortstop, and Reimel calls off the shortstop, J.J. Hardy. Bases loaded, 1 out for Adam Kennedy.
Adam had an opportunity his first time up after the triple by Cust. Ended up flying out to shallow left field, was not able to get Cust in from third.
Adam Kennedy. 2 for 2 bases loaded this year. At less than 2 outs. First time he's been in this situation. Check that. 2 for 2 with less than 2 outs. He's right where he's been all year. Dino coming off a win against Kansas City, a loss to Washington, and a win against Tampa Bay. He's had 3 no decisions this year. Already knocked out.
Guess we'll get a nap. Get a nap early in the game.
Wake up for the stirring finish. 1-1. Paint job 2-2. Mariners trying to cash in here. 1-2 to Kennedy. Two balls, 2 strikes to Adam. Miguel Olivo's on deck. Yesterday, Mariners, remember that? Ichiro had bases loaded and had a tapper back to Sabathia for 1-2-3 ending double play.
Yeah, you don't see that one very often, especially with Ichiro running to first.
2-2 pitch. Off speed, just fouled it off.
That was an emergency hack right there. Completely fooled on the breaking ball, but Adam Kennedy, the veteran, able to get it out of the catcher's glove. Was taking that pitch. You were talking about Arrieta before the game and his inability to work deep. Well, that's going to be the case. It looks like today, 56 pitches already with just 1 out in the 3rd.
Been making the Baltimore staff crazy. 2-2 pitch. Again. Well, nice homestand the Mariners in right now. 2-1 against the Yankees. Orioles for 3. Tampa Bay is going to be interesting. Hey, these guys are going to be tough. And Tampa Bay, you know they're going to be a handful. Good crowd on hand. 2-2 pitch. Back up this way. That'll play. Come on, give it back to the kid. There's a little kid down there. This big moose went in there and reached in and got it. Are you kidding me? Give it to him. Got on his hands and knees and out scrambled a little kid and didn't give him the ball. Come on, man.
I didn't see it.
2-2 to Kennedy. That's a good at bat.
He's battling him right now. He's seen everything from Arrieta. Good fastball. He's seen his breaking ball. A number of changeups that have been off the plate away.
Ichiro at 3rd, Ryan at 2nd. You got Smoke at 1st. This is a battle.
There's another off-speed pitch.
10th pitch coming up. Little BG staying alive. Well done.
He's doing that. 10th pitch, and he's in a 2-2 count.
Well done. Well, something's got to give here. 3-2 pitch coming up. Bases loaded, 1 out. 60 pitches thus far for Arrieta with Miguel Olivo on deck. Who wins? Let's find out. Pitch to Kennedy. Off again. This is like that Jose Lopez at bat about a couple, 3 years ago on a Sunday against Russ Springer. 15, 16 AB pitches. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And was that extra frames, I think? I think it was late in the game, wasn't it?
It had to be late in the game if Springer was in there.
Yeah. I think it was extra frames, like 13th, 14th inning or something.
I was actually surprised Arrieta threw him a 3-2 breaking ball with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
Nice piece of hitting again by Kennedy to get a piece of that pitch. I'm sure he thought he was getting a fastball for sure.
Walked him. Wow. What a battle. RBI for Kennedy. 3-1 Mariners.
I don't think Wieters was happy about that call. Take a look at the tracer. That pitch on the inside corner. Even though he was set up away, that was probably the difference. He was set up away. The fastball ended up on the inside corner. And when he reached back, he did not get the call. Take a look at this last pitch from Arrieta. You could see him set up on the outside corner, had to reach back. He held it there for the umpire to Phil Cuzzy didn't give it to him.
RBI number 14 for Adam Kennedy. Here's Olivo. Struck out on 3 pitches his first time. A couple of breaking balls in that bat. Ball 1. Just killing his pitching count. It's pitch count.
Miguel's numbers in his career with the bases loaded. 1 grand slam.
Two 2-0. How much of an extra charge? I mean, anytime you get a home run's great, but when you get a salami, how much of an extra charge is that?
Oh, that's great. I mean, for one, obviously, you know, you're picking up a lot of personal numbers, but typically when you hit one of those, it'll put the game out of reach for your club.
First one of yours was against?
Don't know. Let me think about that one for a second.
Curtis and the boys can look it up. But, I mean, it's got just the ultimate rush. I mean, it's a hitter.
Yeah, I would say Bobby Witt in Oakland, I think, is.
And you got Wake, too, right? You got Wakefield?
Yes.
Olivo, 2-0. Takes a strike. Two-1-2 Olivo. Almost hit him. All right, 3-1. He's not the fastball. Yeah, he's not throwing. He doesn't have a lot of confidence. He's throwing a lot of breaking balls, throwing some changeups. What's Miggy sitting on here?
I would stay on the heater right now. He just walked a batter. I don't think he wants to walk another one. I think you just stay on the fastball.
3-1 pitch. That's what he got. Fouled it off. Another 3-2 count. Bases loaded. Walked him again. How about that? Back-to-back bases loaded walks. Buck Showalter coming out. That's probably going to do it. Scoring is Ryan. Moving up to third is Smoke. Moving to second is Kennedy, and he's done. After taking that line drive off the leg of Ichiro, it went all downhill for Arrieta. Mariners have a 4-1 lead. The bases are still juiced. Maybe the Mariners getting really busted open, Mike.
Well, you can see the sign. He's 97 today. That's Keith Hiller enjoying his birthday at the ballpark.
He looks good, too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I believe it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to treat the whole section.
Lives in Redmond.
Yeah.
9th consecutive year he celebrated his birthday here at the ballpark. Alfredo Simone is the new pitcher. Carlos Peguero going up there trying to unload him. Peguero grounded out second base his first at bat.
Only 3 innings pitched so far for Simone. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Opponent's average 3.08.
We saw him a couple times in closing situations last year. 0-1 to Peguero, off-speed pitch up top. The Mariners made short work of Arrieta.
Well, he just struggled the entire time.
Man. Now the Mariners looking for a big hit here. One and two.
A pretty good split.
Well, last time Simone was out there, he got out of a bases loaded 1-out jam 3 days ago at Oakland. Two and two. Inning started with Ichiro hitting one off the ankle of Arrieta. Base hit Ryan. Walk to Smoke. Cuss flied out. And bases loaded walks to Kennedy and Olivo.
That Mariners taking advantage of 3 walks in this inning so far.
Struck him out. 2 outs. Talk about attitude knocks. Could use one here.
Yeah, you move him out of the 2-hole, hoping to take some of the pressure off of him, and here he comes up his second time with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Yeah, that would be huge. Come up with a base hit right here, get him going.
First time he's facing Simone.
Last pitch, well, it was up and away. Ended up getting the call.
8th hitter to the plate. Wow, quickly 0-2.
Well, when you're scuffling, it seems like that's the case. You always find yourself behind in the count. You sit in the dugout watching guys get to 3-ball counts all day long, and he's up there 0-2. Just the way it works in this game.
You're banging me?
Yeah.
Come on. Struck him out on 3 pitches. Good grief. And he's hearing it from the fans, but the Mariners have a good inning. It put 2 more on the board, and a third of the way through, the Mariners lead by a count of 4-1 here in Memorial Day after 3.
Left town and headed to the Bay Area to face the A's. And in the top of the first inning, Mark Teixeira continues to hit the ball well. Hit one deep to right field off of Trevor Cahill. 2-run blast his 16th of the season. It's our Sterling Savings Bank score right now, 3-0 in the fifth. Dave?
Angie, thank you very much. Here's right fielder Nick Markakis to lead it off. Looks at a breaking ball. Strike one. Markakis, Vlad Guerrero, and Matt Wieters. 3-4-5 here for the Orioles. Ball one to Nick. Current Orioles, they're hitting .315 off of Doug Fister. Strike. Doug has done well here. The only blemish thus far, a long home run, upper deck, left field of Mark Reynolds. Two and two. Pounds one into the turf. Ryan flips it over. First out. One out here in the Orioles' fourth. Let's check out our AT&T trivia question. Here we go. When was the modern day version of taps arranged? A, 1835. That would have been around the time of the Alamo. 1862, Civil War. 1874, the Gilded Age. In 1891, that was right around, who was that? Grover Cleveland. Modern arrangement of taps. I am going to go with 1874.
I'm leaning on you today.
Okay.
I'm in.
There you go. Hey, I got this hot tip. Go with C. 101 to Guerrero. He's on a hot streak. 361 over his last 14. There have been some great bad ball hitters over the years. I know in my lifetime, Roberto Clemente, Yogi Berra, but this guy might be the best because of the power.
Kirby
and the
Puckett.
average. Kirby Puckett's a good one. Just a bad ball hitter. Struck him out. That's a big one. 2 down. Fourth strikeout for Fister. Take a look at this swing.
Yeah. It's a breaking ball down out in front of the plate. Still thinks that he can get a piece of it. Ooh, he's way out in front of that pitch. 81-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Almost bounced it off the plate.
Like in 07, the first year we worked together, somebody bounced one here and he volleyed it off the plate.
Had a base hit.
Yeah. Here's Matt Wieters. Yeah, and hit it hard. Remarkable talent. Struck to center field. Saunders all over it. Judy getting a day off, and he'll be back the next 3 days. Saunders manning center field. 4-1, Mariners. When the Mariners host the Rays this coming Sunday at Safeco Field, all kids 14 and under, you're going to get a poster of Mariner third baseman Sean Figgins, courtesy of Pepsi. Get your tickets to Little League Day, Mariners.com/tickets. All right, what's your prescription here, Mike, for Michael Saunders in this AB against Alfredo Simon?
Well, I think that what he started to do in his first at bat was right, and that is he ended up getting in a good count. Doesn't always work out that way, but he was aggressive with fastballs in the strike zone. But then when he ended up with 2 strikes, he ends up taking a pitch. He thought it was down. It was at the bottom of the strike zone. I just like to see him. He's a really good athlete. I'd like to see him get some of that out and just turn it loose. Another 2-0 count for him. If he gets a fastball, take a hack at it.
Great, 2-1. Simone on in relief of Jake Arrieta, the starter. Only went 2 1/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 4 walks, and 3 Ks. Not a good day. Mariners lead 4-1. And Saunders ahead 3-1 here. Saunders will be followed by Ichiro and Ryan. Gave it a ride. That'll get down for a base hit. Markakis will play it on the hop. Base hit for Michael Saunders. 1 for 2 today. There's another attitude knock for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Gets into a good count, 3-1 count, and turns it loose. And he actually changed up his batting stance a little bit on that one.
What did he do?
Well, you remember what he was doing last year, the little forward press, and then this year they've kind of taken that out. He and Chris Chambliss were rested on his shoulder. He was kind of in between the 2 of them that time and hit the ball hard. So maybe he finds something there.
Ichiro, 2 for 2, a stolen base, 2 runs scored. And a base hit to right, first inning, and then he hit the hard line drive off of Arrieta in the 3rd inning.
Saunders tries to steal a base. Ichiro able to steal a base back in the 1st inning.
Saunders 4 out of 5. They had that money steal against Minnesota last week. That was a great one. Everybody in the ballpark knew he had to go. He did go, and he got in.
That's impressive. Young player. Again, we talked about it. He's a good athlete. Runs well. Has a lot of pop. Don't forget he had 10 home runs last year. Just has not been aggressive,
which is unusual. Once you get a guy up here at this level, usually it's like they always say about guys coming from the Caribbean. They hit their way off the islands.
Yeah, it's but you get into those things where all of a sudden things aren't going well and you're struggling and you're
there he goes.
There he goes.
Throw by Wieters. Got him. Man, I thought he might have got that foot in. Looked like he got him up around the thigh. Matt Wieters, a snappy throw down there to get Saunders.
Yeah, much better throw than the one he had when Ichiro was early. Take a look and see where it comes down. Tags him just before he gets to the base.
Nice call, Bill Miller, umpire at second base. Good call. Matt Wieters, good throw. 1-1 to Ichiro. One hop to the second baseman Andino, 2 outs. All right, let's see. AT&T trivia question. Modern day version of taps. When was it arranged? Mike and I went with 1874. The fans, they went with B, 1862. You Civil War buffs out there, that's what you went for? It was. You're right. General Dan, you got to Google before we did. General Daniel Butterfield arranges taps to signal lights out at night. And I'm going to assume that was a Union general in 1862. And it was a Union general. But both sides used it. All 1 to Ryan. Two outs, nobody on. Brendan Ryan has taken his hitting streak to 10 games with 3rd inning single left. Pop this one up. Looks playable. It is for Luke Scott. That'll do it for the Mariners. In the 4th, we got a break with the song American Patrol, written in 1885 by F.W. Meacham, originally written for piano. And then Glenn Miller had a huge hit with it in the early 1940s before he perished and a flight over the English Channel during World War II. Luke Scott leading off for Baltimore. Strokes one into center field. Saunders back. Going back. Can't get it. It's beyond him. And Scott eases into second with a double. 8th two-bagger of the season. 3rd on the ball club behind Reynolds and Jones.
And we talked about it at the start. Scott struggling coming into the game, but usually hits well against the Mariners for whatever reason, and this is hit hard. It's a screaming line drive that Saunders isn't able to get back and pick up, so that'll be a double.
Scott at second with leadoff double here in the 5th. Orioles get their run in the 3rd inning on a Mark Reynolds home run. Here's Nolan Reimold. Nolan bounced out to Figgins at 3rd. Bounces down to Figgins again. He holds a runner. 1 out.
And a good pitch by Pfister, not letting him advance the runner. This is exactly what he wanted, a ground ball to the left side, keep the runner at second.
About this Baltimore club, they had Buck Showalter as their manager. They fired Dave Tremblay back in August. 24 and 27. Even though they're streaky, they're a lot better than they were last year. Good fastball in there to Mark Reynolds.
Well, for the first third of the season here in 2011, both clubs are.
Market improvements. One right after. 0-2. Shattered that bat. Figgins with the scoop. Holds the runner again. 2 outs. And it's a good thing the on-deck hitter was paying attention. That's scary. Wow.
Yeah, this is just a saw blade. Throws it right in on the hands. That is just below the label, and that thing just splinters into a bunch of pieces. You see the barrel go flying. Andino was on deck, and you're right, Dave. He was paying attention, able to get out of the way. That's a good pitch by Doug Pfister to get in on the hands of Reynolds, who had taken him deep the previous time.
It's funny, the other day when Doug was speaking with the RBI club, he says, listen, I just have a catch with the catcher. I'm focused in. I'm not looking at uniform and name and number on the back. He had to have been with Reynolds up at the dish that time.
Well, he feels better about it right now, I can tell you that.
Buckled the knees of Andino. Strike one, 1-1.
And again, Doug doing a nice job with his pitch count. Been very efficient in the game today.
2-1. He did get the call, 2-2. Backed him off. On a full count against the Orioles second baseman, batting in the 9 hole.
The other things with Doug is he's picked up a couple miles per hour on his fastball. He's used to be 87, 88. He's been consistently 90, 91, topped out at 92, I think, so far today.
And that pitch, a beauty at 93. Strikeout number 5 for Doug Fister. The Luke Scott double goes nowhere, and the Mariners lead holds at 4-1.
Is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
This is what Ultra Milk can do to aeronautics. See each and every revolution.
That is amazing.
Isn't it?
Slow that propeller down the way it has.
900 frames per second. They're recording. Fouled off by Smoke. Smoke's first look at Alfredo Simon, who came on with 1 out, bases loaded in the 3rd. Jake Arrieta didn't have it the starter today. Mariners got 2 runs in the 1st. Infield ground out by Ryan. And Jack Cuss triple, first of the year, second of his career. That produced a run. And then 2 bases loaded walks in the 3rd to Kennedy and Olivo. Fair ball, dribbled down to Scott for the first out. Good time to show the youngsters around and get on camera too. Yeah, Mariners are #1. That is finest colors. You know, Dad is wearing Oriole orange. Here's Cust, 1 for 2.
Notice that the kid had a Mariner hat on.
Yeah, I like it. It's flying the colors. I like it. Cust, nice overspin, top spin, gets it into the outfield. Base hit for Jack Cust, a 2-hit day.
Jack has hit the ball hard a couple of times in the game today. You're right, too. A lot of top spin on this one. Ball kicks up. By coming up like that, almost gave Andino an opportunity to make a play. Just out of his reach, though, so Jack has a couple of hits in the game.
Over to Andino, the second baseman. He's got pretty good range over there. 1 out, 1 on. Adam Kennedy. Fly to left, and a bases loaded walk. 12 pitch at bat. Pulls it down to Scott. Throws to Hardy. Back to Scott. 3-6-3 double play. Well turned. That'll do it for the Mariners in the 5th. 4-1 Seattle.
In training right here, 30 miles an hour. That's all right. Keep on throwing, kiddo. 33 right there. That was pretty good. While he's throwing, let me update you on the rest of the division. The Kansas City Royals are doing their best to help the M's in the division. They're at home facing the Angels. Bottom of the first, Alex Gordon hits one to dead center field. Then after a Milky Cabrera walk, Eric Hosmer goes deep to right field. KC out to a early 6-3 lead. This guy's still throwing, and he hit the glove out here. Dave, back upstairs to you.
I like it. He was throwing predominantly strikes. Good stuff. Thank you, Angie. How about the Hosmer kid? Called him up, what, about 3-4 weeks ago. He's doing a heck of a job. Keep banging those strikes. That's the name of the goal. You don't want to go in the bucket. Give a new meaning to stepping into the bucket.
Like he was brushing the hitter back on that first pitch right there. Move him off the plate.
Good toot. I like it. Felix P.A. leading off. Top of the order. Hardy and Markakis to follow. Doug Fister trying to get his first win since April 30th. Wyatt Prescott. Toss him down there. It's funny as I look at Fister. Big, tall guy, 6'8", arms and legs. Very similar to another guy who's calling the game for Baltimore, the Hall of Famer Jim Palmer. Strike 3 on the swing and a miss by PA. Strikeout number 6 for Fister. How about our Century Link high-speed pitch for Doug Fister? And starter Arrieta at 94.
That's a good fastball for Doug. And you mentioned Jim Palmer. I was talking to him before the game. Jim, of course, tall right-hander himself, over the top, as you mentioned, and we were talking about it. And I told him, I said, you know, with Doug, a little bit different than Jim in that he didn't have the fastball that Jim Palmer had. Palmer was mid to upper 90s with his fastball, good curveball. But you know, he was talking to me, and he said there's a huge advantage to the angle that is created by going over the top and being tall like Doug is, and Jim. And
JP, Hall of Famer. Here's a look at Palmer coming over the top.
Yep.
He was a good pitcher.
Yeah, we talked about him, and you can see this pickoff move from Palmer. But we were talking about Doug being a good athlete too, not just a tall man. But Doug does a nice job getting off the mound, and good athlete.
You remember Palmer in the '66 World Series, stuck it to the Dodgers. They swept him. He and Frank Robinson just wreaked havoc on a good Dodger ball club, a Koufax Drysdale crew. Of course, they had that great run, 69, 70,
Yeah.
71. They won the title in 70, beating the Reds, lose to the Mets in 69 and the Pirates in 71. Hall of Fame pitcher. That one fouled off Hardy's leg. Jim still looks like he's about 40.
He can still throw a pretty good fastball up there. Great
But-
shape. Takes good care of
Yes,
himself.
he does.
I just thought it was interesting him talking about the angles, the downward angles, being tall and over the top pitcher. I think that's a big reason why Doug gets a lot of ground balls.
Pretty good crowd, 22,819. Payoff to Hardy. Ryan stays with the tough hop. 2 outs. So you look out at Doug Fister, it's easy to see a little bit of Jim Palmer. And a little side by side. Jim with a little higher kick, but both over the top.
Pretty similar, really. Yeah, the kick is about the only thing that's the difference. Palmer carried his front leg a little bit further than Fister does.
Mark Kakis, 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out to short. Look out. Fister's 2 wins this year against Detroit and at Boston. Cal Ripken's streak began on this date back in 1982. Jim Palmer was the starting pitcher and the loser for the Orioles in that game. May 30, 1982, Cal Ripken, if I remember correctly, was at third base at that time and then eventually moved over to shortstop.
Yep.
I think it was Doug DeCinces eventually moved into third. Was he already there? Or he may have been gone at that point. Doug eventually ended up with the California Angels. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Markakis dismissed in the 6th. 7th strikeout for Doug Fister on a nice roll here. Through 6, he's given up a run on 3 hits, a 4-1 Mariner lead. Old Glory on top. Cloudy day here in Seattle, but comfortable. 57 degrees at first pitch back at 1:10. Mariners with a couple of runs in the first, 2 in the third, and Doug Fister throwing a nice ball game, giving up just a solo home run to Mark Reynolds, a 4-1 lead. Nice breaking ball, swing and a miss. Olivo. Strikeout and an RBI on a bases loaded walk in the third. Another breaking ball. Just got a piece of it. 0-2. One and two to Miguel. Too much time.
7 strikeouts for Doug so far. That's a career high. Ties a career high for him. Did it earlier in April against the Tigers. So he has a couple more innings here to see if he can improve on that.
Simone dropped down the sidearm against Olivo. See the remnants of his face plant the other night. Simone, born in Santiago, Dominican Republic, still lives down that way. Got him. For Simone, that is his 3rd strikeout. 1 out here in the 6th. Time for the Banner Bank Building to the Future. About Greg Hallman. He was activated yesterday. That's great news. Yesterday in Las Vegas, 3 for 5 with a home run. Last year with the Mariners, 9 games, 29 at bats, 3 RBI. She's a good one. He can cover some ground, and he's got some pop. And if I remember off the top of my head, I think he had 29 home runs in the minors last year. Play with this man right here, Carlos Peguero.
Well, that's good to see him back on the field again, trying to work his way back to the big leagues.
Good kid, too. Great personality. Peguero ground out the second and a strikeout. Seeing a lot of breaking balls, 1 and 2.
Yeah, either that or fastballs up out of the zone. We talked about it with a lot of the young hitters the Mariners have and we're going to see. Definitely a process for them. All the scouting reports and videotape. Try to find a hole quickly here, and then they'll just keep exposing you until you're able to make an adjustment. Simone topping out at 96 miles an hour.
2-2 breaking ball misses. I shorted Mr. Hallman. My apologies, Greg. He went 33 and 80 last year with Tacoma, hitting 243.
In case you were wondering, guys that hit it out of the ballpark don't like to be shorted on anything when it comes to that.
Hence the correction. 3-2 pitch. Peguero works a walk, 1 out, 6th inning. All the signs point towards riding Sound Transit and saving a ton of money on gas and parking. Visit soundtransit.org for details. Mike, you had an entertaining ride back home with some Yankee fans last night, a little Sound Transit.
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it.
Sure
They were excited about the victory, but I had to remind a few of them that the Mariners did win the series.
Oh, boy. Peguero back. Figgins, will he get down? No, Markakis all over. Figgins had struck out his first 2 times, a 3-2 pitch and an 0-2 pitch, and this time he lines out to right. 2 outs for Michael Saunders, who's 1 for 2. That's where the phrase "hang with them" is appropriate.
Yeah.
Saunders got ahead in the count his last time up in 3-1 and singled to right field, leading off the 4th inning. Strike one to Michael.
And Michael made an adjustment in his last at bat. Watched him working through midway through spring training and into the season, resting the bat on his shoulder, and then as the pitcher starts his motion, he would take it off of his shoulder. This is in between that and where he was at last year with that forward press. And I think at some point you make a change and hopefully have some success. And it worked last at bat. We'll see what happens this time around.
Chris Chambliss, a hitting coach. Two. He's got a piece of it. 2 runs in the first, 2 in the third for the Mariners. Take advantage of Jake Arrieta's wildness. 2 bases loaded walks. And Jack Cuss first inning triple. First of the year, second of his career.
Arrieta was struggling throughout the game, but he really lost it after Ichiro hit him in the leg. Ball was hit sharply back up the middle and caught him on his ankle. And after that, he really struggled trying to find the strike zone.
One and two. Peguero, decent lead. And Saunders strikes out. Second time today, he is Cade. First time looking. That'll do it for the Mariners in the 6th. They have a 4-1 lead. Over There, written in 1917 during World War I by George M. Cohen. He wrote it commuting from New Rochelle into New York City. This was right after the United States declared war against Germany. It was featured in the movie Yankee Doodle Dandy, 1942, starring James Cagney. Wearing their Mariner gear here at the ballpark. Very pleasant afternoon to watch some baseball. Baltimore Orioles in town, first of 3. Festive atmosphere, 22,819. Here's Vladimir Guerrero. Smoke. Does he have room? Almost. Tough play.
And the ball just kept slicing away from him. And then he has to try to backhand it and just couldn't quite get there.
So strike one to Guerrero. Ground out to short and strikeout.
And Doug Fister has been efficient today. This next pitch will just be number 70 as he pitches here in the 7th inning.
Well, that's just what you want, too. Up the middle, Ryan charges. Whoa, tagged by Smokey. Got him. 1 out.
Take a look at it. Yeah, he catches that on his feet, kind of messes up his footwork a little bit, so the throw is wide. Nice play by Smoke. Brendan Ryan usually accurate with his throws, but I think his footwork, because of where he ended up catching that ball close to his feet, stumbled a little bit. And throw ended up wide. You want to talk about a ball strike ratio. 70 pitches, 54 strikes, 16 balls. First pitch strikes, 22 batters, make it 23 batters, 18 first pitch strikes. So he's on his game today.
Good to see it. To get him back in the win column, it's been a month. Doug's last win at Boston, April 30th. He went 5 2/3. 2-0 win. Prior to that, he was on the good side of a 13-3 score. That was here against Detroit on the 19th of April.
Wieters hit the ball hard his last time up. It was right at Saunders in center field for an out.
1-2. Orioles catcher. Waiters had a game-winning RBI in the 13th inning back on Tuesday, May 10, when the Mariners were in Baltimore. Pedro Viola warming up. Stroked in the left center field, a base hit for Wieters. Fourth Oriole hit this afternoon against Doug Fister. This Wednesday, Michael Pineda. He's set to take the mound. Mariners will be hosting these Orioles, and for as low as $14 per person on Wednesday, groups of 4 to 12 can get a ticket right here to Safeco Insurance Grand Slam Family Package Day. Great deal. Includes a hot dog, Pepsi, and a ticket to see the Mariners and Orioles. Get yourself in shape to take advantage of this offer. Go to mariners.com/specials. Fister backs off Luke Scott, who doubled the left center field his last time out. Prior to that, he struck out.
Well, he knows that Scott can hit the fastball, likes to hit the fastball, so I think he's straightened him up, hopefully to open up the outside corner, get him back to his changeup. There's a good curveball. Scott doesn't bite. Looked like that pitch was at the bottom of the strike zone. That's what's tough. We were talking about Palmer earlier, and he had the big curveball. You throw that 12-6 curveball, it's tough to get called strikes because typically the catcher is going to catch it down out of the zone, even though when it crosses the plate, it's a strike.
I've heard catchers tell me, too, sometimes umpires will give up on it.
They do. And I think if you see, like on that first pitch, it looked like to me like that pitch was at the bottom of the strike zone, but Olivo is catching it right around his shoes. But when it's crossing the plate, front part of the plane of the plate, it's a strike. It's a tough pitch to get a call. Good changeup.
2-2. Palmer, by the time he had established himself in the career, the umpires knew what to look for. They weren't surprised by it.
No, they weren't surprised by it, so they knew that he was going to throw it. And I think also you talk about it a lot back then. They had the big balloon protector, so they stood up a little bit taller because of that, so they could actually see that pitch better.
One out, one on. 4-1 Mariner lead.
And another changeup. He definitely wanted to go to his changeup to get Scott out, but now he's in a 3-2 count. See how Doug decides to go after him.
Infield at double play depth. 3-2 to Scott. Field on the third did not go, says James Hoy.
Looks like he walks him on a high changeup. It wasn't able to get this pitch down. 85 miles an hour. Scott able to hold up.
First walk issued by Doug Fister. He's got 7 Ks.
He hasn't been in much trouble today, but here he goes here in the 7th inning. 82 pitches for him. One of the few times we've seen him have to struggle. There was a leadoff double back in the 5th that he pitched his way around. See if he can get out of this.
Pfister got into some trouble. His last time out, it was Tuesday, May 24th at Minnesota. Critical balk in the 7th inning.
He's been able to get Reimold to hit a couple of ground balls to Figgins at third. I'm sure he'd love to see another one right here. Get a double play and get off the field.
Reimold, 2 ground outs to third. A lot of other umpires thought they might have had one. One-two pitch. Got him that time. Strikeout number 8, career best for Doug Pfister. Important strikeout, 2 outs here in the 7th. Two outs, 2 on for Mark Reynolds. All he did his first time up on an 0-1 pitch, upper deck, 385 feet. Just fair for his 7th home run. Strike 1.
That's a good looking curveball.
One. Broke his bat again. Figgy had to get out of the way of the bat.
Oh, no.
Tough break.
That is a tough break.
Because the bat was right at Figgins. He had to retreat from that thing. And then a heck of an effort by Doug Pfister. Nice job, both guys.
Yeah, and I don't blame Figgins at all. He had a spear coming at him. You take a look at the jagged edge of this bat. The barrel will come right at him as the ball is popped up. Figgins started in, and then he noticed the barrel coming at him.
Well, that'll get you slamming on some brakes.
Yeah.
James Hoy, the umpire, he was well aware.
Oof.
Yeah, those 2 steps cost him. That's a shame.
Yeah. Well, Doug will have to make another good pitch on Reynolds, see if he can get him to do it again.
He's blown up 2 of his bats. Ground ball back in the 5th. Career best 8 strikeouts. He'd love a punch out here to make it 9. The pitch up high. 2-2. Previous best in strikeouts for Pfister, April 19th this year to win. That was that Detroit victory he had.
You can see his pitch count, 22 pitches here in this inning.
2-2. Bounced it to Ryan. Goes short way to Kennedy, and he's out of the inning. Well done. Doug Pfister strands 2 Orioles here in the 7th. Mariners have a 4-1 lead here. First game of a 3-game set. And right now, let's go to PA address announcer Tom Hutler.
Fans, as we enjoy Memorial Day, please join us in a moment of silence as we remember those who have fallen in the line of service to protect this country. Thank you. And we now direct your attention to the Safeco Field video screen for a word about today's national moment of remembrance.
On this day, for one brief moment, hear the silence fill the air. Think of those who walked beside us, now no longer there. Make us humble, make us knowing and accepting what is done on this day for all the fallen. Make this nation one.
And in special recognition of the military, USAA now presents the singing of God Bless America.
From the United States Navy, musician 3rd class Sarah Reisner.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, through the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Musician 3rd class Sarah Reisner, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's time for the new 7th inning stretch and take me out to the ball game.
Sports is brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's premier entertainment, gaming, and dining destination. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Sterling Savings Bank. Visit sterlingsavingsbank.com. As the Navy brat anchors away, this is like my family song or something. By the way, Dave, big shout outs to everybody who has served our country past and present, including my dad, my father-in-law, both my grandparents, and all my uncles.
Very nice, Angie. I second that. Got a couple of Navy
and my
men.
father, by the way, in the Army for 33 years.
I had a couple of Navy guys, a couple of my uncles, and my dad was in WW2 in Africa, North Africa, and Sicily, and into Italy. Mariners, boy, it's a good-looking day now. The sun breaking through these clouds. That one big cloud mess we had at the beginning of the ball game has moved along as fans dancing a Louie here. And we invite you to send out your shout-outs to friends and family who've served in the military or are serving. 95323. Make sure you include your first name and your hometown. As you continue to watch today's action, you'll see your name up there on the crawl. The top of the order coming up here in the bottom of the 7th. Mariners enjoying a 4-1 lead, a 2-for-3 day, 2-run scoring day for Ichiro. And he'll try to continue along against the third pitcher from Baltimore today, Pedro Viola. Left-hander. He's a short-arming left-hander too, Mike.
Well, he has a good fastball, though. His fastball will be 92 to 94 miles an hour. And as you would expect with Ichiro at the plate, Reynolds playing even with the bag, maybe a step ahead of the bag at third, taking the bunt away.
Ichiro, 2 hits, 2 runs scored, and a stolen base. Two and one. Two one to Ichiro. Shows bunt. That's strike 2 and 2. Mariners got 2 runs in the first, 2 in the third. Infield out by Ryan. Got the first run. Jack Cuss made it 2-0 with an RBI triple. His first of the year, second of his career. Third inning, bases loaded, walks to Kennedy and Olivo. Three and two.
There is no doubt that Ichiro is going to get a fastball here. Neola certainly doesn't want to walk him leading the 7th inning off, so he'll get a pitch to hit, I would think.
3-2. And this one popped up, giving chase Reynolds. Third road. There's Chris Jakubowskis, former Mariner a couple of years ago. Last year with Pittsburgh, took a line drive off his coconut. Was talking to him today, and he says, I don't remember much after that. Just got called up, arrived here today, and had a chance to catch up with some of his former teammates. Rick Adair, Mariners' former pitching coach, now with Baltimore as their bullpen coach. He vouched for Jack, and here he is with the ball club as Ichiro skies one to right center. Put away by Felix Pierre. There's Rick Adair out in the bullpen. He was relieved of duties here with the Mariners last August with Don Wakamatsu and Ty Van Berkeley. And Jakubowskis is Jakubowskis is about as funny a kid, neat a kid as you ever want to meet. But Dare said when he was going out the bullpen, it was interesting. A little change at taking a left instead of the right-hand turn. Here's Ryan. Makes a strike. Brendan extended his hitting streak to 10 games with a 3rd inning single. His first game in the 2-hole here as Figgins was dropped down to 8 by Eric Wedge. Exchange your coldest hitter or one of your coldest hitters. Change places with your hottest hitter.
Seen as the impact that Ichiro and Figgins can have. Ichiro has been struggling coming into this game today, and he ends up with a couple of base hits and scores a couple of runs. So Eric Wedge making the change, hoping that he can get Figgins going, because I'm sure he'd like to get him back up hitting second again as quickly as possible, but he has to get him to where he's comfortable at the plate.
Said Figgy lost his feel trying to get it back. 0-2 pitch from Viola. Pedro's 27, 6'1", 185. Hails from San Juan de la Maguana in the Dominican Republic. Lives in Santo Domingo. With the club for 2 games last year. Is with Cincinnati in 09 for 9 games. Size-wise, he's a little bit bigger version, taller version of Pedro Martinez. Same slight build. Two and two to Ryan. Now straight back. Doug Fister's had a heck of a day for the Mariners, a career best 8 strikeouts. He's walked 1, giving up a run on 4 hits. The run coming on Mark Reynolds, 1-out homer in the 3rd.
He's pitching well, just over 90 pitches for him, and nobody throwing in the Mariners bullpen, so he'll come back out for the 8th inning. And why not with the way he's pitched today?
2-2, way upstairs. Comes set 3-2 now to Brendan Ryan. Struck him out. Waiters held on. 2 outs. 2 down. Root Sports is looking for the biggest Mariner fans in the Northwest. So throughout the season, we're going to be going state to state to find the most passionate fans in this region. This month, we want to hear from devoted fans in Montana. So log on to rootsports.com and show us what you've got. Show us why you're one of the Mariners' ultimate Northwest fans. A 4-1 ball game. Here's Justin Smoke. Breaking ball and first strike. Justin with a walk, 2 walks, and a ground out to first base. That outside corner.
I think Justin would disagree with you. I like that pitch was off the plate. It was close, though, one way or the other, but he didn't like it.
The 0-2. Struck him out. So Pedro Viola. She comes in and throws a 1-2-3, picks up a couple of strikeouts. Mariners are done in the 7th. To the 8th we go. Doug Fister throwing a nice ball game, a 4-1 lead. The Marine Corps hymn, music from an 1859 French opera. It's been adopted as America's own, and the Marine Corps, they love it. Snappy curve by Doug Fister to Robert Andino leading off the 8th inning. Gold Glove center fielder Franklin Gutierrez enters the game. And Saunders goes from center to left. Carlos Peguero takes a seat. I think it's a max defense out there. Fister dropped down 3/4 there, 2-1. Andino today struck out twice. Oh, nice play by Figgins. He knocked it down. They almost had it. But he did a heck of a job to knock that thing down. Boy, that ate him up, and why anybody would boo him on that, that's foolish. Let's check in with Angie Mentic.
You know, guys, obviously in this capacity, we see a lot of baseball and a lot of first pitches, but today we think we saw our best first pitch ever. Michael Jacobs, a senior medical officer with the U.S. Navy, threw it out today from 60 feet 6 inches and hit 62 on the radar gun. Now, there's got to be some athleticism there, right? There has to be. Well, he wanted to play baseball in college at Harvard. Instead, no, he played football, and he was all Ivy all 3 years. I asked him about the 62 miles an hour. He said, actually, I had a little more in the tank, but I didn't want to throw it straight to the backstop.
Smart move, Angie, and I tell you what, looking at that frame, I knew he had to be a jock. You see the frame, and you saw what he did with the windup and the throw. Played football at Harvard, I believe it. And Mike, you could gain a few yards, maybe a little pitch going to the little toss right, run by him
right, yeah.
with him leading.
Why not? Probably get it up to about 65, 66 if he wanted to.
Absolutely. Top of the order. Felix PA. One for three for Felix. Two and one. Jamie Wright starting to heat up.
And Doug's starting to reach his limit. 98 pitches for Doug. Season high is 113. So we'll see if he can finish this inning out.
You know, hard grounder to shorter second. Both
That'll
of these
work.
guys can run. And Dino, and he finds a hole, a base hit. And Dino, he's going to make the run to third. Throw by Ichiro, cut off. Base hit Felix PA, and now the Orioles will bring the tying run to the plate. Different kind of head first slide. Head up here by Andino. Didn't snap down. Ultimo makes it really look good as Carl Willis.
As opposed to the one that Olivo had the other night.
Side by side, how to, how not to.
And Carl Willis out to the mound, I'm sure, just to buy some time for Jamie Wright, who's up in the bullpen for the Mariners right now. Jamie typically pitches the 8th inning before he hands it over to Brandon Lee, but with the way Doug had been pitching coming into this inning, he was on a nice roll.
Sign up for Root Sports Red Alerts and get updates on when to watch your favorite team. Stay informed on the biggest events in the Northwest sports and receive exclusive offers and giveaways. Just text FAN to 95323 to get in on all the action. Shortstop J.J. Hardy 0 for 3. Strike one. That was pitch number 100. Good work here by Doug today in first pitch strikes. Well, he has not taken that out of his repertoire after balking last week. Cost him a run at Minnesota. One and one. Big spot for Doug. 1-1 pitch. Cranked and foul. Off the Trader Joe's with some oomph.
90-mile-an-hour fastball. They're trying to go back inside. He leaves it on the plate. Hardy not able to keep that pitch fair as it runs in on his hands.
Ball and 2 strikes. Off of Miguel Olivo's glove in hand. Do it again. anything doing on the base paths. One, two. Strike three call. That's huge. Two down. Make that one down. Beg your pardon. One down. I'm getting ahead of myself. One out. As Markakis will come up. Now they look for the double play to get out of it, but a big strikeout, number 9.
And Hardy looking for the fastball back inside instead of Doug goes away from him. Tries to run it back on the outside corner, but he gets him with a swing instead. Nice pitch by Doug.
Ryan Cage. And he's been an equal opportunity all up and down this lineup with the strikeouts. There's Markakis, the right fielder. Struck out twice, grounded out to short. Drops in a breaking ball. Mister's gone 8 innings against Cleveland, a no decision. 8 innings against the Angels, a no decision. Almost hitting. 1-1.
He's done a nice job of moving the feet of the Orioles hitters today's game, using his fastball inside, move him around, see if he can get back to his changeup. Take a look at his pitch counts. 7th inning cost him a bunch of pitches, 23 pitches in the 7th.
Drops in another off-speed pitch. 1-2 to Markakis with Guerrero on deck. I will gladly take a double play if you please. 1-2 to Markakis, 1 out. Moved his feet again, 2-2.
He's doubled up in there on a few occasions today, but typically after he goes inside and moves him around, he'll come back with either his curveball or his changeup, something off speed.
2-2 to Markakis. Check down to third. James Hoy said no strikes. Off full count to Markakis. Doug looks into Olivo. Something's got to give here as he throws back to first. PA back safely. Three and two. Bouncing ball. Kennedy can't get it. Base hit. That'll score Andino. PA to third. 4-2 ball game. RBI Markakis is 17th.
Take a look at this last pitch going back inside. They wanted to go on the outside corner. He pulls it across middle in. Nice effort by Adam Kennedy. Goes off of his glove. He dives in the hole trying to keep it on the infield.
So Eric Wedge coming out to get Pfister. Pfister getting a great round of applause here at Safeco Field. 7 1/3. Some strong work here. He's going to leave with a 4-2 lead here in the 8th.
field, and they have the tying run on first base. Hi, friends. Angie Mentink here. And we always talk about the grueling travel schedule for the Major League Baseball players, but the umpires have it even worse. Mike Muchlinski, who is the first base umpire today, is actually from Bothell, Washington. He's home, but really it's just like a quick change of clothes. Poor guy has a 5-month-old son at home who he hasn't seen in an entire month. So what's that, 5th of his life, and he hasn't been there for it already, Dave. Tough.
Part of the rigors is what you signed up for. Hiram Roth, Godfather 2. Michael, this is the business we've chosen.
Yeah, they're not flying charter either.
Vladimir Guerrero. Big spot for Jimmy Wright. Bounces it to figure. Oh, it gets by. Run scores. 4-3. E5.
It looked like it was going to be a double play ball. Guerrero hits it over into the hole, and Figgins looks like he was in good shape. Take another look at it as it comes at you. Yeah, right off the heel of his glove, maybe the thumb of his glove.
Adam Jones is going to come in. He'll pinch run for Vladimir Guerrero. Former Mariner. So now a one-run game as Adam Jones couldn't play today. Sore right shoulder. It's not affecting his hitting, but he can't throw as effectively as he usually does. Told me today he hopes to be in or plans to be in tomorrow. As Carl Willis coming out. Get it together on what they want to do here. Wieters at the plate.
And again, buying some time. Aaron Laffey, left-hander throwing in the Mariner bullpen. Wieters a switch hitter, but then you have the left-hand hitting Luke Scott after Wieters.
Huge error there. Allows the run, and 6th error for Figgy. And takes away a double play opportunity. Could have got him out of the inning.
Jamie Wright's numbers, a 1.48 ERA, 24 in the third. Jamie, that's his work this year. Opponent's average is 209.
1 out, runners at first and second, way outside from Wright. Matt Wieters 0 for 2 against Jamie Wright. RBI Markakis and an E5, allowing 2 runs here in the 8th. Infielded double play depth. Didn't see it, but somebody made a heck of a catch. Swing and a miss by Wieters. Koji Yahara, veteran of the Japanese League, is up. He pitched against the Mariners earlier this month when we were in Baltimore. 1-2. Tying and lead runs aboard. Markakis and Jones, the runners. Pitch, foul back. Biggest situation is Jamie Wright has been in all season. 1-2. Wieters hit down the smoke. They'll get the mid runner. Get Jones for the second out. Wieters aboard on a fielder's choice. Jones is retired. 3-6.
Jamie's trying to get him to hit the ball on the ground. Unfortunately, he's way out in front of it. This is a tough way to turn a double play. Brendan Ryan, no chance.
The wedge is going to come out and get a left-hander, Laffey, to face Luke Scott. We'll take a break. 4-3 Mariners. Baltimore has the tying run at third, the lead run at first. Game tightening up big time here at Safeco Field. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by AT&T. By Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, get the new bourbon barbecue steak grilled sandwich at participating restaurants. And by Quick Read at quickread.com. Quick Read, it's what America's made of. If you listen to the Air Force song, originally the Army Air Corps song, it was written in 1939. You may know it better as Into the Wild Blue Yonder, written by Robert MacArthur Crawford, originally for the Army Air Corps. Then in 1947, it became the March for the United States Air Force. Football games and hoop games, you hear this song, boy. Really a stirring march. Right now, Mariners need a stirring performance from Aaron Laffey. 2 outs, runners at the corners, a 1-run Mariner lead here in the top of the 8th inning. And he has got a tough hombre in Luke Scott. Scott is 2 for 4 against Laffey.
And he's 1 for 2 in the game today. Hit a double out to left center field. He's also walked in the game. Franklin Gutierrez shading him a little bit towards left.
Outfield for the Mariners now. Saunders in left, moving over from center. Goody in the game, and Ichiro in right. 1-0 to Scott. Mariners got their runs in the first and third, and since then they've got no runs on 2 hits. As you know, not a big scoring team at all. Mariners 13th and a 14-team American League in scoring. 1-1. Took something off it. Kennedy, he's there. And the Mariners hold on to their lead as Laffey gets the job done to get Luke Scott to weakly ground out. Orioles put 2 on the board. It's 4-3 Seattle. 4-3, bottom of the 8th inning coming up. Check out our Nissan shift to the bullpen. And for the Baltimore Orioles, Pedro Viola, he continues on. It's a 1-2-3 7th, got a couple of strikeouts. They'll face Cuss, Kennedy, and Olivo, 4, 5, and 6 here for the Mariners. The Mariners have been shut out over the last 4 innings on just 2 hits. After getting runs in the first and third, 2 in the first, 2 in the third.
And the Orioles will put the big shift on now for Jack Cuss coming up. Everybody swung around to the right side of the infield.
Cuss did a towering fly ball to deep right center field. He got a triple out of it, his first of the year, second of his career. One coming to Cust. Viola kid, he is very deliberate. He's a strike thrower.
It's been an interesting game for the Mariners. Typically they've struggled against starters. That wasn't the case today. They scored the 4 runs in the first 3 innings. And then they've done their work against bullpens, but the Orioles have shut them out. This ball drilled to center.
Right at PA. He'll move to his left for the out. Take a look at our Geico line on Doug Fister, 7 1/3 of 7 hit ball, 3 runs all earned, a walk, 9 strikeouts, a career best.
Did a nice job today. Threw a lot of strikes, 110 pitches, 78 of them for strikes. Also faced 30 batters and threw 23 first pitch strikes.
Here's Adam Kennedy. AK swings and sends one to center field. PA will settle under it. 2 outs. A quick 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Buck Showalter is coming in. Make a pitching change. He wants a right-hander to pitch to Olivo. Attaboy to Viola, who retired all 5 men that he faced. And coming in to pitch, Jim Johnson. Big right-hander. And Doug Fister. Nice performance today in 7 1/3 inning, Mike.
He really had command of everything today. I really feel that at the end of the day, you're going to see his line. I thought he pitched much better than the 3 runs he ended up giving up. Fortunately, he had a double play ball, and that one hurt him a little bit. But Doug really did a nice job against the Orioles today. Give up a solo home run to Reynolds early, and other than that, he was dominant. Had a career high in strikeouts with 9. Only 1 walk for Doug, but worked both sides of the plate effectively, moved some hitters around, and used his changeup.
Jamie Wright has come in. He came in and followed by Laffey. E5 brought Baltimore a little bit closer. So in the 9th inning, see it here in the 8th inning with 2 outs, nobody on. Maybe Olivo can generate something, but Mariners holding on to the 1-run lead.
I thought it was interesting too. We haven't seen Eric Wedge do this very often, where he uses Laffey as a situational left-hander. Typically, when Wright is pitching in the 8th, he's just let him go. But today, he brought in Laffey to get Scott out, which he was able to do. Something unusual that we haven't seen very often, really, with Eric Wedge in the Mariners bullpen this year.
So Johnson will take over. 8th inning with 2 outs and nobody on. There's a Jim profile.
29 innings pitched for him, 25 strikeouts, just 5 walks. So he's had good command of his pitches this year. Opponent's average 239. He has given up 3 home runs. With that change, Brandon League throwing in the Mariners pen.
Olivo 1 for 3 against Johnson. McGill today a strikeout. Bases loaded walk, picked up an RBI, his 19th, and he struck out. There's Mr. League.
Sure, he'd like another opportunity at the Orioles. Things didn't go particularly well for him in Baltimore, and he's turned things back around.
Going back to that series, League lost 2 of those games. The game on Tuesday, May 10 and Thursday, May 12. Swing and a miss, and Olivo's gone. So Brandon League time. He'll get a chance to get right himself against these Baltimore Orioles. Since that meltdown streak there where he had about 4 or 5 bad games, he has turned it around and been very effective. Here we go. Buckle up. 9th inning straight ahead. Or 3 Mariner lead, top of the 9th, trying to get a win here. And when you're traveling outside the Northwest this season, take the Mariners with you wherever you go. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Mariners game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Go to Mariners.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Well, it was a nightmare the last time Brandon League faced these Orioles. Nolan Reimold leads off. Take you back to Thursday, May 12th. Mariners had a lead going into the 12th inning. League gave up a base hit, hit a batter. Hard line drive, then a 2-run single by J.J. Hardy won it for Baltimore. Brandon 1-1 here to Nolan Reimold leading off. He went. You hear Phil Cuzzy say yes. 1-2 here to Reimold. Reimold, Reynolds, and Andino, 7-8-9 here for Baltimore.
As you were talking about what Brandon had done against the Orioles earlier this year, big key is being able to command the strike zone, and that's what he's done so well other than that trip.
That game we just mentioned, he blew the save and lost the game. First game of the series. He was a loser in that contest.
He was on a great run going into that series too. 9 for 9 in his save opportunities.
2-2 here to Reimold. Bounces it down. Figgins, stop. Long, strong throw. Scoop, can't get it. So base hit. Figgins really starting to hear it from the crowd.
He makes a nice play cutting this off in the hole. He gets over and makes a nice play giving some ground. Then when he spins, he throws a little bit of a sinker across the diamond. And Smoke just can't come up with a little bit of an in-between hop, trying to keep his foot on the base and pick it. It'll be an infield base hit.
Tying runs aboard. Mark Reynolds will be the hitter.
Reynolds coming to the plate. We'll move Figgins over towards the line, try to keep him from hitting a double down the line, take that away from him. That'll open up a hole on the left side of the infield.
Reynolds 0 for 2 against League. First pitch, League to Reynolds. And down the line, foul ball, nice catch. Reynolds has grounded into 5 double plays on the season, 3rd on the team.
That first pitch was 96 miles an hour. He's gone through some lumber today. Doug Fister was able to jam him up a number of times after he started the game with a home run. That was a good fastball in on his hands again.
Reynolds 1 for 3. Slightly open stance, powerful right-hand hitter. 1-1.
Pretty good pitch. Like it was on the outside corner, didn't get the call.
Bill Cozy, the home plate umpire. One to Reynolds from League. Drop foul, 1-2.
Kevin Gregg is up in the Orioles bullpen.
Four runs, 6 hits, an error for the Mariners. 3 runs, 8 hits, and an error for the Baltimore Orioles. 1-2 to Reynolds. Almost hit him.
That was a split. Ended up getting away from him.
Comes to 2-2. Work the full count. Pay it off right here. League comes set. 3-2 to Reynolds. Left field, left center field for Gutierrez. 1 out.
So a nice pitch from Brandon Lee. You take a look at it. Just a good fastball. I think he ended up jamming Reynolds a little bit on that pitch. And he did. He was able to get in on him just enough for it to be a lazy fly ball into center field. They stayed in on his hands.
Here's Andino. Second baseman batting in the 9 hole. League looking for double play grounder in the ball game. Strike 1. And Brandon exhaling all the way up here. Strike 1 to Andino, who struck out twice and reached on an infield hit. Oh, 1. Swing. They got overmatched on that one.
Well, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and then Brandon comes back with a split. Nice location on it, right on the outside corner.
2.
Big key for Brandon, I think, is his command of his fastball. He has a plus fastball at 97 miles an hour. If he can throw it for strikes, then he can move off the plate with his split finger. And for the hitters, it's tough to lay off that pitch, especially if you're a right-handed hitter. Throwing from that 3/4 angle with the type of velocity he gets on his fastball is difficult.
0-2. Didn't get the break he was looking for. All 2 strikes. Orioles get a run in the 3rd on the Reynolds homer, 2 in the 8th on an error and an RBI by Markakis. One, 2 to Andino. Bounce to Ryan. There's one to Kennedy over the smoke. Double play. Ball game. Mariners win it 4-3. They make a winner out of Doug Fister, who goes to 3-5, his first win in a month. Save to Brandon League, and the Mariners finally beat the Baltimore Orioles. First time in 4 tries. So the Mariners go to 27-26 as League gets the double play he needed.
Yeah, another nice pitch from Brandon. Jams up Andino. You can see Ryan get rid of it quickly, and then the nice turn by Adam Kennedy at second base. That is a good feeling for Brandon League. Redeem himself, get a nice save. 1-run lead he's saving in today's ballgame. And Doug Fister, what an outing he had. His command of everything today. Ends up giving up the 3 runs. I thought he pitched much better than that. But the bottom line is the Mariners score 4 runs early. Not able to add to it, but it holds up with the Mariners' quality pitching again.
14th save for Brandon League. Good to see him back doing well. 14 out of 17. So the Mariners take the first of this 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles. They're back over 500 at 27-26. Send it out to center field, Brad and Bill.